and welcome to our GOLD participants from around the world. I'm Fiona Lang-Sharp, IBCLC Public Relations Manager and MC for GOLD Lactation Online Conference 2016. Well, welcome to Kathy Parks. It's so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you, Fiona. I'm excited about this presentation.
Well, we are too, and of course you are part of an add-on that we have this year for private practice, but you're speaking to how to start it, and your title of your presentation, Growing Your Dream, How to Start a Private Lactation Practice, which just sounds beautiful, and I just can't wait to hear more. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listening audience today, and just why don't you tell me why you wanted to speak to private practice?
Well, Fiona, when I began my first private practice in 1993, I had no training, no business training. I had all the lactation training. I had just gotten my registered nursing degree, but I had no preparation for what to expect, how to plan. And much of what I learned in that 15 years of the first private practice was hard learned. It was
Mm.
making mistakes, making better decisions, learning, talking to others. And there's not a lot on the market when it comes to lactation specific practice. And I felt that being able to provide that for other people might help them not have to learn the hard way.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that this specific presentation is absolutely invaluable, to those who not already are also in private practice, but of course are considering it as well. So I can't actually wait. And Kathy, I have to say too, you're an absolute inspiration. I love having conversations with you. By the way, I always come away with just a real feel. I call you like the real feel type of people, but you are down to earth and very inspiring to share with. And I know when I've had those conversations with you, it's just been great. You really are truly one of those mentors that I'm sure many people gravitate towards as well. So I hope everyone who's listening, you tune in and listen to Kathy's presentation because she really does have a lot to offer. So I hope I didn't embarrass you too much, Kathy, but I just had to say that.
Thank you so much. I'm very
Oh,
flattered.
Oh, well, that's nice. Thank you. Okay, so let's change directions a little bit. Let's hear a little bit more about you, Kathy. And
Mhm.
here at Gold, of course, we're celebrating our 10th anniversary. So we've had lots of conversations with speakers about what's happening in the field of lactation, what has happened in the last 10 years, because of course we're reflective and we're talking about growth here. So perhaps you can tell me some of the things that you have seen of great change, healthy change, or maybe some of the change in your personal career as a lactation consultant.
I think probably one of the biggest changes that I've seen in the last, especially the last 10 years, is the issues that new private practice LCs are meeting when it comes to infants and mothers. It used to be, even 25 years ago, when I really first started seeing a lot of patients, it was sore nipples. It was
Mhm.
an easy correction. It was, tweak this positioning, get the baby a little bit better with a wide open gape. Very easy fixes compared to what we're seeing now with preterm babies going home at 4.5 pounds with very little ability to suck and swallow and transfer milk well. Mothers with physiological problems that impact milk production. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah, this is a conversation that we've been having here at Gold with some of our speakers coming up as well, Kathy. So it's we're all kind of on the same track here that we are seeing possibly way more complications than we used to see. Plus, the knowledge in breastfeeding has changed substantially as well, not only for the practitioner, but also for the consumer, for the mother and the families that are wanting to breastfeed. So, definitely the demands I feel have really changed, in the past 10 years. I'm wondering, where are we going? Like, what's going to happen, Kathy, do you think, with, this sort of information stream that we're on? Are we going to get it right? Are we going to do better these coming years, Kathy?
I would love to see that. My goal has always been to work myself right out of a job. If
Mm.
I can provide enough education, enough prenatal information so that moms and babies don't have problems, I could retire in my last 5 years of life at as I hit 100, with my toes in the sand. um, so that would be my goal, is to actually provide more and more reliable research-based information into the hands of moms and dads and healthcare providers and not have to work so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting that consistency of care and, like you said, reliable, information into the hands of those mothers. So important today, because we are on an information stream where they can Google everything. It does become, sometimes unreliable for them, and so it sometimes takes time before they reach out and get that accurate help and support from us. So you can definitely see how there's such invaluable information out there, but yet we're still trying to wade our way through, trying to provide them with accurate information. I love your analogy, Kathy, about working yourself out of a job. And I think that's so important today too, that we're, providing, accurate information, correct information, but we're also not doing it for the mothers. And that's something I think you learn that after some time of being on the job. And do you remember the time when you kind of had that aha moment, when you started to realize that perhaps you had your hands in there too often? Do you remember those times, Kathy?
I do. I remember, because I started out in a mother to mother support group, and
Hmm.
I remember leading my very first meeting, and I had everything written out, and I knew exactly what I was going to say and when I was going to say it. And boy, did I learn. It doesn't go that way. So I think I had the benefit of knowing innately that if I do it for the mother and baby, they're going to want me to move in with them. And
Totally.
that's not happening. That's not happening. And so I also receive the blame. If it doesn't work, it's my fault if I do that for them. So my job as a lactation consultant, as a nurse, as a healthcare provider is to empower the mother to be able to do it herself. It increases her knowledge base, it increases her self esteem. It just works better to do a lot of hands off help.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. It's something that takes time, I think, when you're first growing, but it's a really poignant note, excuse me, to remember while we're working with our mums, that we're there to empower them so that they can do it themselves. Well,
Exactly.
lastly, Kathy, I want to ask you, just as a little teaser for our listening audience, as they are drawn again to wanting to join this Gone experience here, what do you want our listening audience to know about what you're going to be teaching at this presentation?
Wow, there's a lot to know. Probably, I think the most important thing is do your research. Look at what you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to do it. Don't just hang out your shingle and expect things to happen without the research and the planning.
Well, that sounds like a good teaser. I'm looking forward to hearing more what you're going to share with us about this. And it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. It's great to hear, the things that you have done, the things you've learned, and of course, where we're all heading together as well. So thank you, Kathy, for sitting down with me here today.
Thank you, Fiona.
And thanks for our listening audience for joining us again. And be sure to tune in to listen to Kathy Parks speak to Growing Your Dream, How to Start a Private Lactation Practice. Thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye for now.